There are some things which I wish I had not done in terms of learning strategy. There are some mistakes which I would encourage you that you avoid. I've been in the data science field for about a decade now, and not a week goes by when I don't learn anything new. It's been a very rewarding journey for me, and I've enjoyed all the learnings, but there are some things which I wish I had not done in terms of learning strategy, and that's what I wanted to share with you, so that if you are embarking on this data science and machine learning journey, there are some mistakes which I would encourage you that you avoid. So before I go into what that mistake is, let me briefly explain to you what a common data science project lifecycle looks like, and then I'll go into what I think a common mistake people make when learning data science. So a common project lifecycle for a data science is that you start with what I would call is business need understanding. So this you mainly do while you are on the job, so you understand what is the business context, what are the business problems you as a data scientist or a machine learning engineer are supposed to solve. Depending on what's the complexity of the business, this is something you have to invest some time in. So once you start your journey here, you understand some business understanding. The next step is data understanding. Once you have understood the business needs, for example, if you're working in a bank and you understand, okay, what are the different problems the banking business goes through, then you want to spend some time into the data understanding. Here, there are two things which would you can spend more time in learning. So one is the actual data, and the other is the tools with which you get to know more about the data. So it could be SQL or other libraries. Once you have understood a little bit about the data, the next step is usually ML modeling. Here again, you can spend some time on the libraries understanding, or you can spend some time on the theoretical piece of understanding how the machine learning model works. Theoretical understanding. Once you have built the model and you have some results, that is when you go here, data storytelling. So in this part, you explain to the business what the findings are in the most convincing and easy to understandable way. And this part is also a very important toolkit a data scientist should have, so that whatever his technical skill sets and the findings are, he or she is able to not only explain and communicate, but also try to convince and bring the business on board about the findings. So there's a lot to learn and unpack here as well. And once you have that, then you get some business feedback, and then you go back to this step that you further enrich your business understanding. So as you can see, there are different components of it, and you can spend a lot of time on each of these components. There is one part which I want you to be a little cautious about, so that you don't overspend your time initially in the beginning of your career. And that is this theoretical understanding piece. It's okay for you to spend time on the business understanding. It's okay for you to understand what the actual data is, SQL, other libraries. The depth here is not a lot. And same here, you should be able to learn the libraries. But when you come to here, then you need to understand math, stats, linear algebra, calculus, and you can easily do a PhD into a subsection of each of these. You can spend 3 decades learning more about these, but it won't have as much impact on your skill set as investing in these other skills could be. So I, in the beginning of my career, spent a lot of time understanding this. It was useful, but for other people who are just getting started, I would say that you don't spend a lot of time on this area. As long as you can understand what different libraries are, if you're learning scikit-learn, as long as you know what are the top models there which you can use, what are the parameters you can pass on, and what is the basic understanding of how it impacts the model if you fine-tune or change the model parameter, then that should be sufficient for the first couple of years. So don't over-index or spend a lot of time on the theoretical piece of the ML modeling, so that you first of all become a well-versed ML practitioner, and then and only then, if you have more time, you go deep and start spending time on this, knowing that this could be a lifelong journey. You will never become a master of these. There's just so much to unpack there. So this is the advice I want to share with you. Let me know if you have any question in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer.